It's Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. This morning, OpenAI plans to nearly double its workforce to 8,000. The Pentagon formalizes Palantir's Maven AI as a core military system. And AI startups have captured a record 41% of all venture capital. Plus, Meta brings its Manus AI agent to the desktop. A new open-source architecture challenges the transformer. And two-thirds of Fortune 500 CEOs are freezing hiring while betting billions on AI. Let's get started.
OpenAI plans to nearly double its workforce from 4,500 to 8,000 employees by the end of 2026, according to the Financial Times. The majority of new hires will be in product development, engineering, research, and sales. The company is also recruiting specialists it calls technical ambassadors, whose role is to help businesses optimize their use of OpenAI's tools. The hiring push comes as OpenAI sharpens its focus on enterprise customers and prepares for a potential IPO as early as the fourth quarter of this year. It also stands in stark contrast to the broader tech industry, where nearly 40,000 jobs have been cut in the first quarter alone. OpenAI's annualized revenue stands at roughly $25 billion.
A landmark move at the Pentagon.
The Pentagon will formally adopt Palantir's Maven artificial intelligence system as an official program of record, according to a memo obtained by Reuters. Deputy Secretary of Defense Steve Feinberg communicated the decision to Pentagon leadership on Friday. The designation locks in long-term use of Palantir's weapons targeting and intelligence analysis technology across the U.S. military. Maven, which began as a controversial AI project inside Google in 2018, has evolved under Palantir into one of the most widely deployed military AI platforms. The move to program of record status means Maven will receive dedicated funding and institutional support, expected to take full effect before the fiscal year ends in September. Palantir shares rose on the news.
Continued fallout from Friday's policy release. Legal analysts are weighing in on the White House National AI Policy Framework released Friday. The document, organized around 7 pillars, calls on Congress to preempt state AI laws and establish a single federal regulatory standard. It recommends against creating any new federal rulemaking body, instead directing existing agencies to handle sector-specific AI oversight. The framework also urges Congress to codify the Trump administration's Ratepayer Protection Pledge, which requires AI companies to supply or pay for electricity consumed by their data centers. Legal experts at the National Law Review note that while the framework aligns with prior executive orders, its implementation through Congress remains uncertain, particularly given the absence of bipartisan support for such sweeping preemption. Now to AI agents on the desktop.
Meta's AI agent Manus has launched a desktop application for Mac and Windows, bringing its autonomous task execution capabilities directly to personal devices. The app, which starts at $20 a month, allows users to delegate complex workflows across files, applications, and the web to an AI agent that operates independently. Manus was originally an independent AI startup that Meta acquired earlier this year, folding the team into its Superintelligence Labs division. The desktop launch places Meta in direct competition with Anthropic's Cowork, OpenAI's Codex, and a growing ecosystem of agent-based productivity tools. A free tier offers limited access, but the full capabilities require a paid subscription.
The venture capital numbers are in.
AI startups captured a record 41% of the $128 billion in venture funding tracked by Carta last year, according to data reported by TechCrunch. That translates to more than $52 billion flowing into AI companies in a single year. Just 3 years ago, AI accounted for roughly 15% of venture funding. The sector has nearly tripled its share, pulling capital away from consumer apps, fintech, and crypto. Carta data also shows that funds raised in 2023 and 2024 after the launch of ChatGPT have posted the highest internal rate of return compared with declining returns from funds raised between 2017 and 2020. The numbers validate the enormous bet the venture industry has placed on artificial intelligence.
A challenge to the transformer architecture.
Mamba 3, a new open-source state-space model, has arrived with claims of surpassing transformer architecture on speed, cost, and inference efficiency. Published at ICLR 2026 by the original Mamba authors, including Albert Gu, the model introduces 3 core improvements: a more expressive recurrence derived from state-space discretization, a complex valued state update rule that enables richer state tracking, and a multi-input, multi-output variant that expands internal processing capacity. Unlike transformers, which store past information in a growing key-value cache, Mamba 3 uses a fixed-size internal state that does not scale with sequence length. At the 1.5 billion parameter scale, the model achieved the fastest combined prefill and decode latency across tested sequence lengths, opening a potential path to cheaper, faster AI inference.
Enterprise AI browsing gets a security layer.
Perplexity has launched Comet Enterprise, a team-ready version of its AI-powered browser with a significant security partnership with CrowdStrike. The integration embeds CrowdStrike's Falcon platform directly into the browser, providing real-time threat detection, data governance, and protection against unauthorized information sharing during AI-driven workflows. Enterprise administrators can control where and how Comet operates, enabling permissions across the browser or restricting it to approved domains. The platform also connects to 20 frontier language models and integrates with enterprise systems like Snowflake and Salesforce through app connectors. Perplexity says the enterprise version is designed for everything from customer meeting preparation to contract analysis and financial modeling.
A notable partnership at GTC. Nvidia used its GTC 2026 developer conference to unveil a product integrating technology from inference chip startup Groq. The new offering pairs Nvidia's training-optimized GPUs with Groq's chips, which are designed specifically for fast, cost-effective AI inference. The partnership addresses a growing competitive vulnerability for Nvidia, as rivals like Google's TPUs and Cerebras have been winning inference workloads from major clients, including OpenAI and Meta. Analysts say the Groq integration, which follows a $20 billion licensing deal signed in December, could help Nvidia reclaim ground in the rapidly expanding inference market. CEO Jensen Huang told attendees that the turning point for inference has arrived, as AI systems increasingly perform productive, revenue-generating tasks. Google offers publishers a new option.
Google has agreed to develop controls allowing websites to opt out of its generative AI features in search, responding to pressure from the UK's Competition and Markets Authority. The CMA had proposed changes requiring Google to let publishers exclude their content from AI overviews and from broader AI model training. While Google disputes claims that AI search features harm publishers, the company says it is building the opt-out mechanism. Details and timelines remain unclear. The move comes as publishers worldwide grow increasingly concerned about AI systems consuming their content to generate answers that reduce traditional website traffic. Google must also address worries that opting out of AI overviews could negatively impact a site's ranking in standard search results.
AI code review goes multi-agent.
Anthropic has released Code Review, a feature for Claude Code that dispatches a team of specialized AI agents to analyze every GitHub pull request in parallel. Instead of relying on a single reviewer, the system assigns agents to scan code changes, check the surrounding codebase for context, verify potential bugs, and rank issues by severity before posting a consolidated review. Internal data shows that for large pull requests exceeding 1,000 lines, 84% surface issues, averaging 7.5 findings per request. Engineers report less than 1% of findings are marked incorrect. In one case, a routine-looking one-line production change was flagged as critical because it would have broken authentication. Anthropic has been using the system internally for months.
A telling signal from the C-suite.
66% of CEOs are now freezing hiring while simultaneously investing billions of dollars in artificial intelligence, according to a Fortune analysis of corporate workforce strategies. The labor market has softened enough for companies to shrink headcount without the stigma of mass layoffs. And by early 2026, that retrenchment had hardened into institutional policy. Nearly 40,000 tech jobs have been cut in the first quarter across roughly 60 companies. Fortune reports that companies including Meta, Amazon, Salesforce, and Workday have announced reductions, with many explicitly citing AI-driven efficiencies. The pattern represents a fundamental shift in how large organizations are architecting their workforces, replacing roles with AI systems rather than simply automating existing workflows.
And finally, a new model from the French lab.
Mistral AI has released Mistral Small 4, a unified, multimodal model built on a mixture of experts' architecture with 119 billion parameters. The model integrates the capabilities of 3 previously separate Mistral products: Magistral for reasoning, Pixtral for vision, and Devstral for coding, into a single system that supports both text and image inputs. It features configurable reasoning effort, allowing developers to balance accuracy and speed depending on the task. Mistral Small 4 is fully open source and available on platforms including VLLM, Llama.cpp, and Hugging Face transformers. The release reflects a broader industry trend of consolidating specialized capabilities into smaller, more efficient models rather than building ever larger, monolithic systems.
That's your DX Today AI Daily Brief for Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. 12 stories across hiring, defense, policy, venture capital, and the race to build faster, cheaper AI. For DX Today, stay curious.